Hello and welcome back to Villa TV and to Match Day Live. A 3-0 win on the night for Aston Villa over Club Brugge. A 6-1 win on aggregate, and Aston Villa are through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League, where they will face PSG. My name is Kate Tracy, and joining me pitchside post-game, Stilian Petrov and Alan McAnally, who is very excited by that.
It was much better than I thought it was going to be. I just thought the
What
game
did
would
you
be
expect? What were you expecting?
Well, to be fair, the sending off obviously affects the game, like it does. And at this level, Still and I were talking about it even like an hour into the game. It hasn't ruined the game for us because we're in such a strong position. But in terms of making it the problem I thought we might have, it just wasn't there for us. To be fair to them, they kept the ball really well. The little boy 30 in the middle of the park for them was very good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, certainly first half.
I think, we talked about the show, about being lucky. I don't think you get lucky at this stage of the competition. You deserve your place. You deserve where you stand. And tonight, Aston Villa has shown that playing against Club Brugge, they're very decent, strong opposition. I mean, tonight, I think that the job was done in the first game. Yeah. Tonight, we're just being disciplined, being focused, don't risk it too much, and the opportunity will come. Obviously, the sending off played a massive part.
And by the way, in all seriousness, I don't think the referees get any other choice than to send them off.
No, talk us through that. So talk us through the sending off.
Well, I mean, the ball through, I think it's through with the goal that he beat, and he makes a challenge, he brings him down, it's a foul. And I think you don't really give I don't know where the referee goes with it. I mean, it'll sound almost too sycophantic by me giving it because we're Villa fans, but it's a sending off. And they got caught. And that's what we, didn't expect maybe to do them, because defensively they've been all right. They've been pretty rock solid. But I've got to say, I think over the two games, I think we've been the better team genuinely, and I think we deserve to go through.
And this is a potential sticking point, because for all that you've said there, top quality opposition, which they are, they were the last ones, of course, when we're talking about the league phase of the Champions League, to make it through to the knockout stage, to get into the last round of 16. However, that doesn't tell the full picture of what Club Brugge are. They got the verdict over Villa first and foremost in the early stages of the competition. So, as you said, Stilian, they were no pushovers by any means.
Of course. I mean, tonight it was like they started stronger. They started in the front foot. They were moving the ball. They haven't created much, but they were controlling the game. They looked comfortable until the red card. After the red card, in this at this level, at this type of competitions, it's very difficult. Villa good. You've seen it at a half-time. The manager have made a great change with Asensio. Two changes, yeah.
I think Ollie hurt his knee. Remember the time he was almost through? Yeah. Sorry, still.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And the big boy, what's his Odesina, yeah. I think he just catches Ollie on the knee, and he struggled after that, to be fair. So it's almost like a precaution to take him off. With Marcus in, we can bring on Leon Bailey, and then he makes a change in the middle of the park with Boubacar Kamara and puts like John a little bit further deep. So I think, and brings Asensio on, who immediately wants to get in the box. And does he not only score 5 minutes into the second time? You think, I mean, honestly, it's just everything's going good for us at the moment in time, absolutely. But they're a good outfit, and I won't let MD think to go and score 3 goals in Bergamo against Atalanta is good stuff. They're not a bad team. I think we've been better over the 2 legs, end of.
Alan, we discussed how far the club come.
We did.
Yeah. From about
it was a strange half-time team talk for us.
Yeah, of course.
Because we almost dissected. I don't know. We dissected from 2 years ago to a year ago to Unai's influence now to the January window. To
excitement again.
To the game this evening.
And it seems like the club is just moving from one level to the next step, just gradually just building up. Excitement for the fans, for the players. I mean, what Aston Villa achieved tonight is incredible. In the modern football, we're talking about modern football. No, we're talking about the European winners, and Villa won it before. Now it's even more competitive.
Absolutely.
Financially, the teams are very powerful, and the Villa to have such a stable option to compete with these teams in that stage of this European competition. It's incredible.
And every single game in the Champions League counts financially so much as well. So every level of progression, you look at that, the prize money that's on offer per game in the Champions League, per win in comparison to the overall for the FA Cup, it's so key. And as you say, what Villa are striving forwards for and the amount of money that they're able to make in this competition, we're able to get players online such as Marco Asensio who can come on and make such a difference. And Cillian, he was so instant, as Alan said there, he was so instantly just there and making things happen straight away. First goal then.
I mean, it's a quality player. His ability to understand the game, to see the game, to play the pass, to help others, to step up in the right moments at the right time. He's got this kind of ability. That's why he went from Real Madrid to Paris Saint-Germain, and that's why Paris Saint-Germain see what he can do. But coming here, I think is a little bit of breath of fresh air for the boys. I think for the younger, for Morgan Rogers, for Ramsey, for McGinn, it's a great idol to come in and just give him his knowledge and bring him into his type of game.
You and I have played with senior players that will come to a football club and they'll do what they need to do. You know, you do what you need to do because you think, he came from an unbelievable, he came from Paris Saint-Germain, he's been with Real Madrid, he's come to Aston Villa thinking, yeah, that'll be okay, but it doesn't look as if it's okay. No. He's like, give me it. I'm going to run in the box, I'm going to score a goal. My touch is so good, I'm going to bring other players in. And all of a sudden you're like, really?
Yeah.
Who's let him go? Who's made the decision to say, but Marco Asensio might have been thinking, I'll go to Aston Villa, Premier League football, it'll be okay. But he looks as if he's like, he's taking a bite of the apple, giving it, this is lovely. I'm having plenty of this. Because the players around about me are good. The players around about me are young and hungry. And they want to learn from me. And it's lifted his game again. Genuinely it has. And I don't care what MD says. If you speak to Marco Asensio now, he's absolutely loving life at Aston Villa. Because you don't do that and don't get into those positions if you're not loving where you are. And I think he's been a great addition.
Yeah, and sometimes...
Maybe the best, actually.
No, it's sometimes bringing a player with such a status, iconic status, because I think with certain players they've achieved so much, there's certain status that you have. Yeah. But if came here, you'd say that I've achieved it, I've done it, I've seen it in the highest level. I've came here and I want to be a leader, but I would like to be a leader in the right manner by playing well, scoring goals and helping others. This is the best thing. When you sign a player, you have to know that you just don't sign just a football player because of his abilities. It's about leadership, it's about determination, about communication. And it seems like Asensio has everything.
And he didn't start the game tonight.
No.
No.
You know, he sat on the bench and the gaffers went, right, okay,
half time.
Let's go. And he's probably waited for that. No, by the way, I suppose modern day football, you know, you start with the 11 and then it can be 5 changes within that 11. But for him to come on and have the impact that he does, the only thing that was missing for me was Marcus Rashford not scoring tonight.
But he was making everything else happen.
He was, and I ain't pointing the finger at Marcus, but that little bit of gold dust was just missing for me. And he had a couple of half chances, he was unlucky, goal came in with a good save. There was one time he came inside, he took an extra touch and I thought he was going to try the one round, but he actually unselfishly passed it out, so, you know, so he's still being a part of a team player rather than giving it, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me. So, but like the thing, that was the only really thing that was missing for me tonight. But a wonderful result for us. What was it? 6-1 in aggregate.
6-1 aggregate.
And in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Disaster, eh? What a disaster.
It's incredible. And you talked about, you know, financial gains, but you wouldn't have those financial gains without putting up performances, achieving results, making sure you go further in the competition. That's how you gain have financial advantage from those competitions, and having that luxury, because it's a luxury to have you have to earn that luxury. And it seems like Aston Villa, Unai Emery and everybody behind the scenes has done incredibly well.
And there's another couple of things to think about the game tonight, how big the game was, but the manager has managed to bring in Paul Torres tonight. He's given Bouba 45 minutes. Jacob Ramsey, you know, just players that have been out, injured, coming back, and we were sitting watching the game thinking, he's made changes into the squad tonight that's not made us any weaker.
Yeah.
apart from the players have not had a lot of game time because they've been injured, and Pau Torres has been out by, was it Christmas, I think, New Year he was out, so he's been out a while. But nevertheless, even the fact, and I spoke to the big man just briefly before we came on, he went, I feel great, I feel fab, and you're like, well, take some positives tonight, or just...
Well, you can see the manager, he managed the game well.
Yeah.
As soon he see the game, the tie is over, I need some game time for some players. I need something for them to get fitter, because the next couple of months will be vital. I mean, the Champions League, the league, the FA Cup, there's a lot to play for.
An awful lot of competitions still.
Yeah, of course.
Like that we've got the international break coming up there, which was a perfect way to go into it. But like I say, the amount of competitions that's still coming up, and to be able to rotate the team in such a way. Ian Maatsen coming in for Luca Dean tonight, which, considering we knew that Club Brugge were going to come here, they needed to score goals. So perhaps a defensive mentality from Villa wouldn't have been a surprise. So when we were talking about the fact that we had Ian Maatsen on one side, Matty Cash at the other, but Ian Maatsen, he was so busy, Cillian, throughout, and getting the second goal.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned something very important about.
Don't you start giving me
subs coming happy. Subs coming happy.
Yeah,
we play with players unhappy, moody, don't want to be part of it.
No.
It seems like everybody who's been left out a little bit longer from the team, from the starting 11. He comes in with a smile, with a performance, with a fight to earn his place, which is great to see, because this is down to the manager and his staff to make sure those players are ready. Because if you play in so many competitions, if you fight in so many fronts, you have to have happy players that want to perform and do well every single game. And yes, it's exactly that. He came in today, he scored the goal, he came in very well. You know, he's been given the opportunity to earn his place, to put a good performance, and he have never disappointed so far.
No, he hasn't, has he? Like I say, there was a lot of talk about him and the signing that he was over the summer, and the fact that Luca Dean was playing so well, he was undroppable at that stage, so we weren't getting to see much of Maatsen at that point. But as you say, every time he's come into the fray, he has taken those opportunities. He's having a great rivalry with Talby throughout the entirety of the game there, and then to get his goal as well when needed. We talk about goal contributions from the rest of the team other than Ollie Watkins or now Marco Asensio. These are the kind of extra goals that you need the rest of the team to be chipping in with.
And I'll remind you, he's a fullback.
Yeah.
He's sitting in 6-yard box.
One of the fastest fullbacks.
6-yard box saying thanks very much. That's one of the goals that I should be scoring, like a striker. But nevertheless, I'm going to pull the reins in a bit here, because I'm not going over the top in terms of, and we have been gloriously speaking about the way the lads are playing, the way the manager can make changes. But this is a big 2 months coming up. You know, we need to make sure we're challenging for Europe again. There's a bigger fish to fry coming up, because we play Paris Saint-Germain in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which for the club itself to play the likes of Paris Saint-Germain is such a big step to take. It genuinely is. But we're not going into the game thinking, oh well, that was really good. We're going into the game thinking, wow, what a chance, what a chance. Now we know how good they were against Liverpool, but who's to say the gaffer comes up with a plan to say, well, hang on a minute, we'll be just as dangerous there, and we will be a goal threat. All of a sudden, it's a game changer. So we go with the manager into a situation where, and I don't know whether it was written in the stars, I mean, he was the manager there, for God's sake.
Yes.
So maybe that's a little sprinkle of gold dust.
The extra carrot.
Well, exactly. Incentive. So there's a lot of things to be really, really excited and confident about. At the same time, the gaffer will give it whoosh, drag it in. We have a couple of weeks break. We've got a game against Preston North End in the FA Cup, and we have big games in the Premier League to play, which I would imagine will be top priority for the manager, because after all, a domestic position will decide, you know, the strength of the club next year. Hopefully we're playing European football.
Well, you know, it's what is it, 2.5 weeks break now?
Yeah.
You've got you can get players refreshed, making sure some manager takes players away.
They're going to Dubai.
Oh, okay, which is
well, I'm taking Morgan Rogers, John McGinn. And
Alan, are you invited? Are you invited to Dubai?
Well, no, we're going to Benidorm for 3 days.
That's where everyone is to watch the Cheltenham Festival currently, apparently.
It's always good, you know, having that break, refresh the players, take them away to a hot weather, making sure that they've got a few nights free, just reflect on everything that happened, recharge, and go back again. Sometimes it could work the other way. I've done a few times. Sometimes you work, sometimes you don't. But I believe Unai Emery and his staff understand how important this break will be. Going away, giving the boys some sun, some rest, clear their minds, and be ready for those important months.
I would imagine, I mean, you go and you train. I mean, what was the one that's just come up actually? Was it Arsenal? Arsenal went and the boy Kai Havertz did his hamstring, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Going away and just like kind of half relaxing. I wouldn't imagine the boys will be doing too much and just apart from ticking over. But it'd be good for everybody to be absolutely buzzing fit to come back. And hopefully nobody picks up any injuries and everything goes right. The boys deserve a break. I'm being serious, the boys deserve a break. It's been hectic and it's been tough on them. But I will say, and I repeat it from what we did earlier on, the game against Brentford on Saturday was a huge result that set us up nicely for this. And now I think the boys deserve that couple of weeks break and come back, and we have a big 2 months to go.
The quarter-finals of the Champions League. Did you really think we were going to be saying that at the start of the season, Cillian? Being honest now, where did you actually think Villa were going to be in this competition at this stage? Or not getting to this stage?
No. Listen, first of all, I would never predicted the top 8.
Yeah.
I would definitely put everything that Villa would have made the playoffs because they've got the manager, the quality, everything. That was the first step that you think, okay, what's next? After that, there's about getting the right opponent. We've managed to do that. We got the Club Brugge, which on paper you would say, yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Over 2 games, definitely. But then is the next step. The next step is Paris Saint-Germain. And you said about, excitement. Yeah, it's exciting, big step. But I think everybody should be looking forward to that exciting big step because they deserve to be there. The boys, the staff, the club, the fans, they all deserve to be there and be part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just talk to us about Unai. We've been saying it all season, how much of a genius he is in European football. His record, his CV in terms of his trophy wins speaks for himself with teams that you may not have even imagined to have got to the certain stages that they have got to. Why is he so good in Europe? If you had to put your finger on one thing, what would it be?
I think he's thorough in opposition. I think he doesn't, when you play a team, we've played with managers who were set up for the game and you play in the game and you're like, oh, I didn't know they did that as well. I don't think the players have any surprises. I think he's that thorough in the opposition. Because it's all right wanting to play. When you're a really good team, you can play the way you want to play.
Yeah.
Every now and again, you have to think, right, okay, what does their right back do? What does their centre? What does the little boy in the middle of the park do tonight for them? He drops, and as soon as they don't have the ball, he sat on John McGinn. They almost went man for man tonight, didn't they?
Yes, of course.
There was man for man, wasn't it?
Pretty much had to at that stage. Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, those things.
Yeah.
I think the players going into the game giving it, well, the manager said that would happen, and that's exactly what's happened. I think that's the main thing. I think he's as thorough and as detailed, and everyone will know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, listen, we played in Europe all our lives. We got to finals and semi-finals of this competition. You need lady luck on your side. You need things to go, but you need to work as hard as you can. And I don't think the manager expects any less, and I think the players give them everything they've got, and I think that's a big difference.
Should we get some thoughts from the team then? Our skipper, John McGinn, speaking to the team post-game.
John, first of all, many, many congratulations. How good does this sound? Aston Villa, quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Hi, surreal. I think there was a lot of pressure on us tonight. I think the start of the game we probably played like that, but credit to Club Brugge, we had a lot of respect for them. We know they can compete like that. Then you go down, you play against 10 men. We still were the poorer team on the pitch, no doubt, in the first half. But during that, the important thing was to keep a clean sheet. Don't give them any opportunity or a sniff of getting that first goal, and that was the main thing. So incredible opportunity for us tonight. I think it was tough watching the game last night, knowing we still had a job to do, but obviously it was an exciting game to watch, and for us as players, for supporters to go over to Paris, what an occasion that will be, and hopefully it comes around soon, and we'll do ourselves justice, because I'm sure we'll certainly compete, no doubt, and our aim's to go one step further. You just never know. In this competition, we're now in the final 8. We fully deserve it. I think this season in the Champions League we've been outstanding. Obviously, very inconsistent in the Premier League, but what an exciting end to the season, and we've earned it. We've worked so hard to get to this position, and I suppose everyone at the club deserves it. We've had some tough times. The supporters have, us as players as well. We've been in the trenches, and we need to enjoy moments like this, and we want to make this a regular occurrence. These nights at Villa Park, the club deserves it, the supporters deserve it, and us as players deserve it. So we want to make the most of it and have no regrets. So went on a wee bit too much, too long, but we're over the moon and super proud.
It feels like a pinch me moment for some of the fans who, like you say, known tough times, and you yourself, when you joined the club, knew tough times, and yet here we are.
Well, I remember Wigan away, Millwall away in that championship season. They've had some rough rides, but they've been with us every step of the way. We've dug in together as a club, and we've built and built. It's not been easy. It's been a roller coaster, but for an Aston Villa supporter tonight to look up the flights to Paris for a Champions League quarter final is surreal, and to be a big part of that is amazing, and hopefully we can contribute even further. I think now you can go and be a tourist, enjoy the experience, or you can go there to win, and that's what we try to do. We obviously watched them last night. They've been really good this season. They're an explosive team, but I'm sure we'll cause them problems, and we've got special players of our own. Unfortunately, one of them signed up to them, but I don't know if he can play or not. Hopefully he can play, and he can keep producing performances like that.
And how excited are you from a footballing sense about mixing it with the likes of PSG and Dortmund, etc, etc?
Well, we proved when Bayern came here, Juventus came here, some of the best teams in Europe, that we definitely can compete. I think our away performances both in the league and in Europe can slightly improve, but having the second leg back here at Villa Park's massive. I think our record here speaks for itself, whether that's Man City coming here, Liverpool, Chelsea. We know we can compete against the best. PSG offer a completely different threat, and they're used to winning, so they're used to winning in the league. But for us, it's brilliant as players to compete against the best and try and get a medal in the Champions League, which you just never know.
Yeah, great to hear from John McGinn there. And Alan, you were just saying throughout that you can see how excited he is. He's buzzing there.
Mark asked him, how you doing, John? And he just spoke for 25 minutes. The wee man's bouncing.
Yeah.
But some of the things he's talking about is some of the things that have happened in the football club about the goals that the manager have set, about hard times and good times, and you get through them and you pull together, and all of a sudden you're playing in a game tonight that gives you the opportunity to play in the quarter-final of the biggest European competition that we have. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity for the lads. I think everybody's quite happy about it. At the same time, you know, eventually kind of pulled it in and got a bit more measured. But the wee man's delighted. He's a captain of the football club. He's a drive in the middle of the park. He's been asked to play one position in the first half and one position in the second half, and hasn't complained. And you see him talking about he's a leader. He's a leader of the football club. I mean, when you played in that position, you know exactly how difficult it is. But you can see he's excited and delighted to be in that position, isn't he?
Of course, and you know, there's so many things that you want to say now. There's so many things when all these bad times and good times, you know, you try to reflect on it. I think tonight, tomorrow, there'll be more clarity and players had exactly what they've achieved. The manager will talk about it, what's next, what to expect, where the team is at the moment. So it's normal to express John McGinn has been outstanding. I mean, I know John. First of all, he's my neighbour. I know him, so I have to deal with him.
Commiserations.
Yeah. But I know how he's great soul. I mean, he gives everything for the club. Great captain. I think the boys love him. Good humour as well. Having a captain who understands, take things deep inside to understand what the players' problems are, how to help them, and he's never complained. Injuries, hard times, playing in different position. This is a real leader. This is a person that is ready to sacrifice his game for others, to be a good teammate. And when you have somebody like that, you have to cherish him. You have to appreciate it. You can see there's a big smile there, and he just wanted to go on and talk about it. You talk about it for days. The fans will talk about it for years with what Aston Villa have achieved, and it's normal.
Yeah, we're all excited.
We are.
I mean, we really are. It's a,
If you can't get excited now,
Well,
when
no.
can you? I know
Well,
we're talking about
I know.
being measured, and you just said there, John McGinn, that he was slightly reining it back in, being more measured then towards the end. If you can't get excited now, then what's the point?
Hey, listen, as players, when we got to this position and the thing, we were absolutely excited.
Yeah.
We'd been more excited about the 2 weeks off, to be fair, a trip to Dubai, knowing what's coming up, which is going to be tough games, good games. There was a good thing that John said there, actually. Is like, it's great to go to Paris, and obviously we're going to Paris, as a sightseer, as a holiday maker. But there's more important things to go. We're going there to try and get a result. We know it's going to be hard, but you just never know. You just never know. You give it your best shot, and then with a bit of luck, in Unai Emery we trust. We trust Unai Emery. So let's hope he's got something up his sleeve for Paris Saint-Germain.
Do you think everything from here is a bonus, or do you think Villa, rightly so, can go further now in this competition, now that they've proven it?
Of course. It's a big task. But you become part of this big task by being there, challenging for achieving more. We've seen many strange results, many outsiders that made and challenged the favourites. Paris Saint-Germain, is it a big hurdle to jump over? Yes. Is it possible? Definitely. Because we've got a great manager, a great team at the moment, quality, youth, speed, physicality. We've got players coming back as well to full fitness at important time. So why not? A Villa Park, especially a Villa Park, will be challenging away there. Yeah. That will be challenging.
I mean, at the start of the season, you got to think that they were. I mean, I saw in the interview that Arne Slot did last night about, well, we were brilliant. We finished first in the league, and they were 16th and gone through. And he was almost saying it was a little unfair that they got Paris Saint-Germain. Well, that's just the way it was. I'm afraid. Yeah. We beat Bayern Munich here. We drew with Juventus. We should have beat them. Our away form in Europe's been fantastic. And who's going to say in 3 weeks, 4 weeks' time when we play them that they're not the team that played Liverpool at home or away. They're not the team that's running away with the French league. They'll have injuries. They'll have problems. There's plenty of water to come under the bridge, and we'll just see what comes in front of us, and we'll deal with it then. There's something to look forward to, and it's a quarter-final of the Champions League. Let's just wait. Let's see what's in front of us when we get there, and we'll deal with it when we get there.
One final question for the pair of you two. Your man of the match.
Oh.
Are you going to give it to Marco Asensio for his 2 goals? Yuri Tielemans, cracking game. Ian Maatsen, fantastic game. All across the park, brilliant. Celine, who gets your man of the match verdict?
Yeah, I was thinking actually that. I was thinking it was really, really difficult to pick because one of these strange games, started slowly, without reaching chances, the red card. I have to go for Asensio. I mean, he made the difference. Yeah. I mean, his ability just maneuver the ball to score goals, because he's now becoming an important player for this team by scoring important goals. So I'll probably go for Asensio.
Fair enough. Alan,
you're
allowed to go.
There's only one man in the match.
He's your favourite now, yeah?
No.
He's supposed now. Goodness me.
No, Morgan's not getting it. There's only one man in the match tonight. He played in 2 different positions. The captain of the football club, John McGinn, was absolutely different class tonight. Without him doing his thing, Asensio doesn't score. John McGinn for me.
John McGinn, Marco Asensio. Well, lads, thank you so much for coming back.
You're welcome.
It is cold down here.
It's pretty cool.
Hopefully it'll be a bit warmer in Paris, should any of us be so lucky to go there. But lads, thank you so much again. And thank you so much again for watching as well. All that is left for me to say is good night and up the Villa.